Been seeing on YouTube and many other platforms all around people sounding off on the arrival of Heung-min. I was going to wait to do a video now that we've had a couple weeks under our belt, and who else to tell you about the impact that he is having here and abroad than from me, because I have spoken to Sonny. We're kind of friends now. I'm just kidding about that part. I have seen it up close. I have seen it from the perspective of LAFC, of which I am an employee of, and I'm going to give you some inside information. Not too much inside, some here on the Soccer OG. Good to see everybody. Like the video, subscribe to the channel so we can spread the word as we are really ramping up towards the World Cup. We will talk about anything, and I'll really try and stick up to the things I have expertise of, which is a great many things, but certainly Son Heung-min. And I got to tell you, every hurdle he clears, this signing gets better and better, and it is, I will just, talking about YouTube numbers, the LAFC YouTube page, of which I create the content for, has almost tripled. The numbers of people tuning in, people from all over the world, and we'll get into all those details. I think the first one is the Korean Republic, South Korea, and what it means for people there and the burgeoning Korean population in the United States, specifically in Los Angeles. It's a slam dunk for both. I think it's safe to say of the 51 million people in South Korea, I'd say 85, if not more, are aware that Son Heung-min, their greatest son, and he is the biggest athlete ever to come out of Korea. I don't think that is debatable, just on sheer numbers and what he's been able to accomplish. This is unprecedented. I think 85 to 90% of every Korean in Korea knows that he is now playing with LAFC. That's how the information goes there. And when I'm on YouTube and other places and you see, I have had to brush up on my Korean, so as to speak to my audience, because it's the new audience. Within the Los Angeles community, they are all in, and we wait for the first LAFC home game, which will take place August 31st at BMO Stadium against San Diego. It is going to be a phenomenon. And everyone in Korea that's Korean in LA is taking some ownership of this, as they should, because they should be very proud. But this goes so far beyond this city. It is great in LA, and you know about LA. They've got to keep pace for this very hungry sports community, which I defend all the time. I know folks go, the best sports cities are Boston and Philadelphia and New York. Well, LA, I don't know if they are better than those. It is up there and probably better than much. It just doesn't get the credit. When you look at Dodgers and Laker fandom and college sports and everything that happens in Los Angeles, it is top. They are rabid. They are fanatical, and they will support it, but they want winners. So LAFC looking to make a big impact like they have done in the years past. This year it was screaming for it. Maybe Son Heung-min felt out of reach, but they were able to get it done. You got to give them a lot of credit because these things just don't happen. And now that they have, you have this period of the star in Major League Soccer where you kind of have to, you have to kneel, sort of, so to speak. That may be the right word, but you kind of just wait to see when they are going to make appearances, when they're going to speak, when they're going to play here. We have seen that from the beginning, from David Beckham to Lionel Messi to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, to the long list of big-name players where their accessibility is sometimes an issue, which is fine. Son Heung-min has blown all of that out of the water. He arrived. He was introduced the very next day. I emceed that. Sat down with him too. Then, and obviously immigration is very difficult for players in MLS. It's a lot more difficult from the conversations I have had with the new leadership here in the U.S. Take it as you will. We don't get political here. But they got it done, and he played that following weekend. So he fast-tracked it, which again is we waited for these big stars to play. You just had to wait. And then the other thing about he would play here and not here. And normally that surrounds artificial surfaces, right? So LAFC played in New England. And the book would say if you're one of the big players, maybe they won't play on that to save their legs, which again is fine. Son Heung-min played on that surface, and he played 90 minutes. So this has been perfect for the introduction, the arrival, and the immersion into this LAFC. And now he is here. and he continues to blow things out of the water when you see him sit down and talk. The other thing is, like, many of these players, you don't hear from them that much. And again, that's fine. It's what we're used to. Son Heung-min had all the media requests, including mine. After the Chicago game, he got on MLS and Apple TV. After the New England game, same thing. He just does it all. So he has been perfect as an arrival. I don't think we can get used to it because he has the stature. I've seen what his presence has meant for this league. It's not Lionel Messi's stature. Lionel Messi is an alien, and he would fill out every stadium. But the numbers are going to come for Sonny as well. And Lionel Messi, to me, it's a big debate about who you want, because Messi, you have to kind of put him in charge. And I'm not saying Son Heung-min is not calling shots. I don't know that for sure, but obviously they know, and John Thorrington said this at the press conference, he knows his worth. He is worth a lot because of the reaction that he causes on so many levels and so many places, which I will get into here in a moment. But for him to introduce himself, and I talked to the LAFC players, they're like, the guy doesn't stop talking at training. He creates a good example. He wants to be one of the guys. And I'm not throwing anyone on the bus, but there's just a way about stars to do this. He wants to be part of a bigger thing, and he wants, the team to be spoken about. You've seen the images about how his teammates adore him. And again, they do that with Messi and everyone else, and they create a great example. But there is, it's pretty unbelievable because of this persona that he pushes out, and because of his humble background from where he's from, to see this come out in full culture. And it's getting better. It's getting better. There's been no speed bumps, knock on wood. We'll see where it goes from here. But I'm going to talk about the impact that this player has. Obviously, in Korea, we got into that a little bit. It is huge. Now, if you're Korean, there are national lines that are drawn. So Korea is not Japan, it's not China, it's not Vietnam, it's not Taiwan, it's not wherever. It's not places like India and Pakistan, which are in South Asia. I have spoken to people from that region. And it doesn't matter if they're Chinese or Japanese or Indian or Pakistani. They idolize Son Heung-min because he was the first player from that region to show that it was possible, that they could come out of here and play at the highest level, play in a Champions League final, be the best player on a big name in England, as he was with Tottenham Hotspur. Make that club bigger after he left than when he got there, which is unquestioned. So everyone in Asia sees him as an example. They tune into Son Heung-min because he has created the pathway, and they want to plug into that. I'm dead serious about it. I've heard it from folks from India, from China, certainly Japan, which has got the closest comparison when you look at soccer profiles and what they've been able to do. They hosted a World Cup together, for crying out loud, in 2002. So the Son Heung-min euphoria goes from Korea throughout Asia. Now we go to Europe. And I wanted just to double up on what I said about Tottenham Hotspur. I have watched the English Premier League for 30 years. I watched it. I worked at Fox Sports World, Fox Soccer Channel, when we were the carrier of the Premier League before it moved to NBC. I would watch 6 games a weekend. I know the Premier League better than 99.9% people in the U.S. That's not lip service. That are facts, because no one has been there and worked it like I have. Tottenham Hotspur were an afterthought back in the day when I watched them in the mid-90s. They were a punchline. They were, the big 4, and then it became the big 6. That happened while Son Heung-min was there. And I know it's not a one-man job, and you got to give credit to Spurs, but when you bring in Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris and I'm getting confused with Ali Daei, Dele Ali, and so many guys, and they never made the Champions League, and then all of a sudden they're in the Champions League every year, and they made a final, and then they win the Europa League for a club that wasn't winning trophies. When you look at and this was after Gareth Bale, they were not a Champions League team with Gareth Bale, but from when he arrived to when he ended, that is the best era in Tottenham Hotspur. So he is a big deal in England. And when he was in Hamburg in Germany, he's a big deal in Germany because the Germans take some ownership because he was part of the pathway to becoming the superstar that he is. And I'll get to the thing that brings it all together in a moment. So Tottenham Hotspur idolize him. And you talk to Spurs fans, he is more often than not their favorite player, ahead of Kane or Bale or anyone else. He can do no wrong. James Madison famously said, Sonny is Tottenham, or Tottenham Hotspur. When you talk to fans of Arsenal or Manchester United or Chelsea, they look at him as the consummate pro and they don't dislike him. They wish he was playing on their team. These are the conversations I have had. Arsenal fans go, man, I love Sonny. I wish he played here. And that you may think that is said regularly. It isn't. Many of these players are vilified. Arsenal may hate Spurs, but they love Heung-min. Same for Chelsea. Same for Manchester United. I've never really seen anything like it. And I'm absorbing all of this phenomenon as it happens. So Europe loves him. Asia loves him. North America loves him. Korea loves him. Why wouldn't you? Because he is that person. And anything he touches, you are overwhelmed. Because superstars are not supposed to act like this. And he is a superstar. So it comes to the point where they're coming to go see him. And I encourage people to watch him because I know Lionel Messi is going to blow you away with skills that no one can duplicate. And I'm not saying people can duplicate what Heung-min does, but what makes him great is how he can control things that most players should be able to, but they've got to remind themselves. For instance, when to make a run, when to fill some space, never to stop. So if you are a father and has a son who wants to play soccer, I highly recommend going to see Heung-min, watch him play, and see if that rubs off on you. It's rubbing off on the LAFC players. Every LAFC player that's with him is going to be better because of that time. So this is a guy that you can say, okay, I can do that. I've got to be locked in more and I've got to train harder, but I can achieve that. Where you can't say that about Messi because Messi is just out of this world. And Heung-min is out of this world, but he has a set of skills that you can learn from. So I think it's going to all end well for LAFC. And this is the one thing I've noticed watching these two games. He hasn't scored yet, but he is going to score a lot of goals, and they're going to get a lot of wins because defenders don't know how to defend him. They're laying off of him because they know he can get by him because he's so fast and athletic. Or he can stay back and then lay a pass out. He's going to be a huge problem. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The only thing that will slow him down is if he gets injured. And he is already helping teammates, and that will continue as well. Everything is perfect. Everything. Now if we can get an Inter Miami LAFC MLS Cup, which would take this league to another stratosphere, which Sun is helping. I know some people there look at MLS as a punchline, and the numbers that they are creating, the numbers are real. Even the Apple TV numbers are improving by leaps and bounds. I can't tell you exactly, but I have a good record as to say that all is happening, and it's because of players like Heung-min, the soccer OG. Learn it from the source, baby. I work this sport all day and all night so that I can give you the best information. It's not lip service. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon.